Welcome back, Truth Seeker. April 1st, April Fool's Day, the tragic plane crash that happened in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. It was confirmed on April Fool's Day that the death in that plane crash was the executive of U.S. Bank, which is headquartered out of Minnesota. That's why the football stadium there is U.S. Bank Stadium. But notice this article about his death being confirmed on April Fool's Day. Again, the wreck happened March 29th. But the death was confirmed on April Fool's Day. And AP posted on April 1st at 3:22 p.m. Of course, where do 41 and 322 come together? In Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones is known as Order 322. They're known for being practical jokesters. Again, a lot of people know the story of Prescott Bush, the father of number 41. Both men were in Skull and Bones, just like the son who was also president. But a lot of people know the story of Prescott Bush stealing Geronimo's skull. Again, Skull and Bones 41, the 41st president was a member, known as Order 322. What are the odds that AP would post this story at that time on this date? Really, just think about it. And as for the man who is said to be dead, his full name is Terrence Robert Dolan, which equates to 91. April 1st is the 91st day of the year. Talked about this earlier with Val Kilmer's death on this same day, and in light of what it had to do with Jim Morrison. And he portrayed Jim Morrison in The Doors, which came out in 91. Terrence was better known as Terry Dolan, which has the gematria of 51. And when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, 57, just like April Fools. Again, they confirm it was him who died on April Fools. It makes one wonder. And just to read a little bit of the reporting, the U.S. Bank executive killed when his plane crashed into a home in suburban Minneapolis died of blunt force injuries, a medical examiner ruled Tuesday. That was April 1st. The Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office identified the sole occupant of the plane as Terrence Robert Dolan, 63, of Edina. The aircraft was a single-engine Cicada TBM-7, which went down Saturday in Brooklyn Park. Dolan was vice chair and chief administration officer at Minneapolis-based U.S. Bank. He was named chief administration officer in 2023 and had been with the company for more than 26 years. Remember, the word bank equals 26, like the word dollar equals 26. And it's not arbitrary that there's a 26-letter alphabet. In Hebrew gematria, the number is related to God. Same in English. God equals 26, as does Adam, where God makes Adam in the 26th verse of the Bible. On our money, it says, "In God we trust." The psychopaths at the top play God, determining when it's people's time to go for ritual, for agenda, perhaps to keep secrets secret. The National Transportation Safety Board is still investigating the cause of the crash. Dolan was flying back to Minnesota from Naples, Florida. After a stop in Des Moines, Iowa, he departed for the Anoka County Blaine Airport, which is a few miles from the crash site. A man inside the house escaped the resulting fire, but the house was destroyed. So now remember, at the beginning of this year, I also said there could be a lot of plane crashes in 2025. I said it could be a recurring theme this year, and there has been a ton. And the reason I said that is because plane crash has a gematria value of 97, which is the 25th prime number. By the way, the alias for Skull and Bones, Order 322, is Brotherhood of Death, which also equates to 97. But look at where his plane crash. Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, which equates to 97, just like plane crash, which is the 25th prime in 2025. Also noteworthy, he was born on the 107th day of the year, and they say the plane crashed at 1:09 p.m. local time, 1:07, 1:09. It's interesting because he crashed on a Saturday. Saturday has the gematria of 1:07 and 1:09, and so does military. 1:07, 1:09. Military technology being used to take out planes for ritual sacrifice Keep in mind, he was born on the 107th day of the year, and ritual sacrifice is also 107. So R.I.P. to Terry Dolan. And again, just pay attention to the numbers, because things like this happen quite a bit if you are paying attention. To post at 3:22 on 4/1. And again, if you don't have the lens of gematria, if you're not aware of this Cabalistic practice of coding numbers into words, all this, it's hard to see. You might notice 322. I mean, that number's been made infamous, but understanding why it matters more on 4/1 takes additional knowledge. And don't forget, with regards to this whole thing coming from Kabbalah, the physical model for Kabbalah is the tree of life, and in Genesis 3:22, the tree of life is mentioned, knowing good and evil, just like how in Kabbalah there's a good half and an evil half to the tree of life. Clearly, we're exposing the evil half. Until next time, Truth Seeker.